I like superhero games just as much as the next person, maybe even more. But with the exception of the Batman Arkham games and the Spider-Man games made by Insomniac, I just don't feel as hyped as I used to for these games. This rings true for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order, as it came out a few years ago, and I just happened to pick it up sometime in the last year. And only just recently have I gotten around to playing it. I have tons of nostalgia for the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but I just didn't have the desire to play the third game. With that said, it's time to find out if my lack of desire to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was valid or not. But more importantly, it's time to find out what's it worth in 2023. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of What's It Worth, a game review where I share my opinion on what a game is worth. Do me a favor, hit that like button to help out the channel, and subscribe for more What's It Worth reviews. I am hoping to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers before the end of 2023. And if you have played this game already, please let me know what you think it's worth down below. Now, let's get started. The original Marvel Ultimate Alliance released in October of 2006. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 was released in September of 2009. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 released in July of 2019, which would nearly be 10 years after the second game's release. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order is an action RPG developed by Team Ninja and published by Nintendo. The first two games were released on multiple platforms, but strangely enough, the third game is only released on Nintendo. The story of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order, which from now on I will refer to as Ultimate Alliance 3, revolves around Thanos and the Infinity Stones, which I guess makes sense given the popularity of the Avengers movies. As always, I will try not to spoil any of the story. Thanos and the Black Order are attempting to gather the Infinity Stones, and the heroes and anti-heroes need to team up in an ultimate alliance to gather the Infinity Stones first and stop Thanos. Ultimate Alliance 3's story is pretty generic. There was a few plot twists that moderately piqued my interest, but there wasn't a whole lot about the story that made it all that engaging. In regards to the superheroes and anti-heroes, as expected, they cracked jokes. The jokes mostly fell flat and were just plain bad. I will say the variety of heroes and anti-heroes, looking at you, Deadpool and Venom, it was refreshing to be able to play with so many different characters, and nice to see them have an appearance in the story. The story took me approximately 13 hours and 30 minutes to complete. The gameplay was pretty much the same as the first two games, which I personally don't feel is a bad thing, as that is what I expected. Every character has a normal attack, and then 4 special attacks, and then a sort of ultimate attack that needs to be charged up. There are 36 characters to choose from, which is quite a variety, and most of them have different skill types. A quick side note, there are some characters locked behind a paid DLC, which is a tad frustrating. With that said, each character has the ability to have their skills leveled up. With having 4 characters as part of your team, and you, the player, being able to control them one at a time, makes for a bit of strategy. The 3 that you aren't controlling at any given time are being controlled by the CPU, and to be honest, it doesn't always do what's best during fights. I played the game on mighty difficulty, which I assumed to be normal, and it was challenging enough to be enjoyable, but not too easy. The boss fights were absolutely the highlight of the gameplay, and some of the mobs are intriguing at first, but over time just become a mindless button mash. The game's graphics are okay, in both handheld and in docked mode. There isn't a whole lot of graphical prowess being shown off here. Ultimate Alliance 3 plays pretty well in both handheld and docked. It had some wonky camera glitches, and there is a few times where the camera got stuck in a spot and I couldn't see my character, which was a tad annoying. And a few times where a lot was going on screen and I noticed some stuttering, but it was nothing game-breaking. Ultimate Alliance 3 has the character's voice acted for some of the parts of the story, which is pretty well done. It also has some nice background music. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 has some replayability value. After the credits roll, there is a superior difficulty which is unlocked. Ultimate Alliance 3 can have up to 4 players on one Switch. There is 1 to 4 players on local wireless play, and it can have 1 to 4 players online. However, I was not able to find any players, so what's it worth? Ultimate Alliance 3 to me was just an okay game. It has some good elements, has some characters that a lot of players will know, and for those who played the previous games, a familiar combat. However, with the lackluster story, an average gameplay experience, some characters locked behind a paywall, and a multiplayer that unless you have friends playing is pretty much dead, this game is worth about $20. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe and make sure you like the video and let me know what you think Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 The Black Order is worth in the comments below. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.